I see Jimi Hendrix. I see Janis. Oh man, you guys see Rainbow. Yeah, I see the music. It's wearing velvet and corduroy. And yeah, why? Yeah, man, I'm here for the show too. Oh, that's trippy. You are. The unicorn just told me I'm a bad dude. And fronting this ensemble, singing, writing, and providing all of the narcotics, ladies and gentlemen, drug dealer Rob Benedict. Give him hell, Robbo. Bobo right there. Bobo gonna jump in the air and make the band go boom when he lands. San Francisco, good morning to you. How you doing, everybody? Bobo, how you doing?
Fantastic.
I don't believe you're invested in that answer.
Ask me again.
How you doing, Bobo?
Oh, I'm doing real well.
Oh, wow. Okay, I can see. It's gonna be one of those. Get the leather couch out. It'll be therapy weekend. We'll all just open up to each other. But that's okay. That's San Francisco. People here are open about their feelings, Robbo. Open body language, man. San Francisco.
Ask me again.
How you doing, buddy?
Not great.
Okay, that's just...
I'm so glad you asked.
Oh, no, don't start either, robot. Come on, man. Really?
All it takes is take one little thread, the band falls apart.
Can't we duct tape the turd together for one more weekend before we have to...
Yeah. I was trying. That's what this is about.
That's closed-off body language. They can read that from out there. Everybody. Hey. We got a heck of a weekend for you.
Are you stalling because our guest is not in?
No, man, I'm not stalling. Cool. I'm seriously excited about this weekend.
Sweet, me too.
We're ready to go. We have, I don't know if you've never been to this show. I'm going to tell you something. A couple things happen. You need to know about it. Yes, a parade of TV stars come out here and answer your questions. Blah. But, more importantly, a little event happens tonight where we dress up like real goofballs and make asses of ourselves, and we do it with a gleam in our eye and a spring in our step. It's called the karaoke party. It happens right here tonight. And I hope you will help us make the last one of the year an epic event. Speaking of epic events, tomorrow night, this band that is the background music for the entire weekend takes their rightful place in the center of this stage, and they host an event like no other we call the Saturday Night Special. Loudon Swain anchoring the night Saturday night with some of their own tunes and some guest musicians. Robbie, it's end of the year. It's going to be an epic show. I don't even know what you have planned. I'm excited.
I know. That's how epic it is.
You fired up?
So fired up.
Good stuff? Some new stuff?
I can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait. It's going to be an incredible show. Yeah, a one for the ages.
All right. Great. I love it. Usually Rob says it's a real turd, but this time he's saying it's great. So,
that's right.
You know what, dude? I mean, I don't work for you, with all due respect. But this is an idea.
Sure.
I mow your lawn.
Right. Technically,
but that's on the weekends.
Right.
During the week, that's me time.
I'll pay you $5 an hour.
On the weekend. And the point is, I think it would be really smart if you put up a few microphones on a Saturday night when the show's playing and record one of the Saturday night specials.
Yeah, we actually did that.
Looks like 7 people already knew that. Yeah. So you recorded a Saturday night special.
Right.
Did you press it into some sort of compact disc-shaped form?
We did. We even pressed it into a compact disc-shaped form and a vinyl sort of record-shaped form.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, don't keep them to yourself. You should sell them at the show.
Well, we actually do have them here at this convention, selling them at the show.
So you're selling Saturday night special live recordings here at the show?
That's correct.
Well, would it kill you to be decent to the people and sign the damn things?
We actually do on Saturday and Sunday. If you buy any Loudon Swain merchandise, we actually do sign it for free. We sign it. Huh.
I like new nice Rob. Too bad he just showed up for the last show. They have a new album. It's called No Time Like the Present. They have a live album. They have a bunch of cool stuff in the merch room. Go check it out. And these boys sign it for free. Why? Because money means nothing to them. It just doesn't matter. And clearly money means nothing to you, too.
You know my favorite so far, Richard? My favorite, last show of the year. Usually you're like, poet, dancer, whatever, when you introduce me. And this time you just said, drug dealer, Rob Benedict.
San Francisco, man. But you can't lie to
Usually
San
like
Francisco.
poet, dancer, actor, writer, and friend. And today you're like, drug dealer. Just cut right to it.
Cut out the middleman.
I feel like it's the jacket. It's a very drug dealer.
They knew, well, you do have a very shady, it's very squirrely. Yeah, okay, yeah. See? It's real squirrely. I don't trust that. I don't trust that, Rob. Although I like that he signs for free, I don't trust what he does to make the money because he can afford to sign for free, you know what I mean? Something weird about that. Speaking of something weird, our first guest, I'm kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy, actor, Texan,
drug dealer.
Sure, whatever. Hell of a singer, great guy, friend to one and all. Let's start this weekend off right with Gil McKinney.
I will be your father figure, put your tiny hand in mine. I will be your preacher, teacher, anything you have in mind. I will be your father figure, I have had enough of crime. I will be the one who loves you till the end of time.
Did you quit halfway? You're like, nah.
That was his jump, was it?
Richard. Rob.
Gilbert.
Band. Good to see you guys.
Gilbert.
Reporting for duty. I do work for you, Richard.
Why, thank you, Gil.
Reporting for duty. Why'd you have the jacket? Because we had the same outfit on?
Yes. Gil and I were kind of dressed very similarly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cute, guys.
Yeah, he's like he's like, I saw it in the catalog and I ordered it and it got there and it doesn't look the same on me.
That's not true.
Looked great on that guy. I got home like, oh, no, doesn't work.
The thing is, you could wear that, and you did wear it.
I'm wearing it
for
currently.
decades.
What?
You just went in the closet and were like, 1976. Oh, this is a good.
Yeah.
You could wear that. That lasts forever.
Well, it has so far. I got it senior year of high school.
There you go.
And
but will never see him wear it again. He's just a one outfit guy.
no,
That's right.
Back
No,
to the
that's not
catalog.
true.
he's the stealth dresser. He wore what'd you call them? Sharts and or no, what'd you
Shorts?
what'd you wear in Hawaii?
Jorts.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Shart is a completely different thing.
Oh, you sharted in your jorts. No,
That's okay.
Yeah.
Sharted in your shirt. That was the confusion.
That's what
That's
it was.
what it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gil McKinney.
Nice. Great intro. Appreciate it. Way to set me up? Yes. Set the bar really low. What's up, guys? Wow. Oh, wow. It's been quite a year. It's been a memorable one for sure. I've done, I think close to 20 conventions this year, which is great. A lot for Supernatural, some for Once Upon a Time, mostly with Creation Entertainment. I'm so grateful for that, and I've done some overseas as well. It's been a really awesome year, so thank you very much. You guys have really changed my life. We have a lot of fun, and we love seeing you guys have a lot of fun too. And it's a really special thing to be here. Anyone here for the first time? That's amazing to me. I mean, it's like a third of the crowd is always new. What took you so long? You got here as fast as you could. If anyone has no idea who I am, I played Henry Winchester. They recently changed my photo on the banner to something that looks a little more like what I look like in regular day life. Henry was Sam and Dean's paternal grandfather. I did a couple episodes, one in season 8, one in season 9, and I looked nothing like this in those episodes. But it really was probably one of the greatest jobs I've ever booked, and a life-changing thing. So I hope and pray that Henry gets to make another appearance on the show at some point. So at this rate, you know, they might go another 15 years. So I think they're going to go at least a couple more, right? They have to. And hopefully these things will go on for the rest of my life. I'll be like in my 70s. I played Henry Winchester in 2 episodes. And I've done nothing else since. But it's been a hell of a ride, y'all. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. So I'm a Texan myself, and I just moved out. Actually, you're from Angleton. I'm from Houston.
Okay, you know where Angleton is.
Yes, I know where Angleton is.
Did you say you just moved out of Texas?
About a year ago.
Okay.
And I was wondering what the thing you miss the most about not being in Texas is.
Whataburger. You know, I was never a big Whataburger guy. I don't know why. I mean, I like Whataburger. I think last time I was home, I found myself in the drive-thru at Whataburger, and I was like, what am I doing? This is a mistake. Gonna regret this later. H-E-B. You guys are all about the Bluebell ice cream. Okay, I'll go with Bluebell. Yeah, Bluebell's great until it started making people sick for a minute there. Anyway, we'll forget about that. The things I miss most about Texas, I tell you what I don't miss is the mosquitoes and the humidity. Those are 2 things that I'm really happy to not have in California. The things I miss about Texas, it's just, I don't know, it's a special place. I love the food for sure is awesome, especially in Houston. They've got amazing restaurants. Probably the Tex-Mex and the barbecue. I miss those things. But also I don't really miss them because when you eat them, you generally feel like you immediately need to lay down. But yeah, the food's great. I miss, I still have family in Texas. I miss family. I go back a couple times a year, and I make it about a week, and I'm like, all right, I got to get out of here. And it's nothing against Texas. I don't know. I loved growing up there. I love that I'm from Texas. Maybe one day, if I can get to the place in my career that I could live anywhere, I would consider maybe moving back to Texas. Though Austin is the only place that my wife has agreed to possibly live in for some reason. Like, I was really trying to convince her, because I went to the Houston convention, and I came back from Houston, and I was like, babe, we could live in Houston. Like, I have family there. It's a great city. I love Houston. And then the hurricane hit. She's like, yeah, that's not happening. But yeah, Austin would be great, though. A lot of people want to live in Austin now, and Jared and Jensen included. So it's a really cool place. Yeah, so where do you live now?
I live just outside of Madison in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you moved all the way up there.
Yeah, I moved for love. So,
oh, good for you. Congratulations. Yeah, one of my cousins actually lives in Madison. Funny enough, she's from Texas. She went to Notre Dame and then ended up marrying a guy, and they live in Wisconsin now. So, cool. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Angleton.
Where'd you go to high school?
I didn't go to high school in Houston. I went to high school in Alaska.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, there
cool.
you go.
Cool. Just Alaska. Hey.
Hello. I was wondering if you could work with any supernatural actor that you haven't before, who would you work with and why?
If I could work with any supernatural actor that I haven't before, wow, a few faces just flew in through my brain. Richard, definitely one of them. I would love to work with Richard, honestly, more as a director. I think it would be fun to work with him as an actor, but I would love to work with him as a director. If I was to do a scene with someone else, oh, wow. I gotta say Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah, and if he's not available, Matt Cohen will do. Yeah, I mean, I would love to get to work with either of those guys, honestly, in some sort of capacity where, Henry and John could be reunited. And did I hear that Jeffrey's going to be here this weekend? That's pretty exciting. I had the pleasure of meeting him once. He's the coolest guy, as I'm sure you all know. Has anyone here met him before? Okay, wow, only a handful of you. This is going to be awesome. No, he's super cool, and I know he's been trying to make it to some conventions this year, and you know he's so busy. He hasn't. Some of them haven't worked out, but it's really exciting that he's here. So yeah, I guess I'd have to say Jeffrey Dean would be really cool. Plus, my mom loves him. She's like, I think she likes him more than she likes me, which is saying a lot. So yeah, she's a big Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan. So that'd be cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi. So.
Who's that?
Hi.
What's your name?
Nani.
Oh, you're Nani.
Yeah.
I thought that was you.
Oh, yeah.
Princess Nani?
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you again.
Okay. Okay. So you are like an amazing father, and Vivi is like the cutest little kid I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, thank you.
And so I have like 2 questions. My first one is, what is your favorite dad joke? As in, like, when a kid says, I'm hungry, and you say, hi, hungry, I'm dad. Like, that kind of thing, just really bad jokes.
I don't know if I have any. Maybe I need to come up with some dad jokes. I mean, I joke around with her a lot. She's got a great little sense of humor, and she's a lot of fun. I don't know if I have any dad jokes off the cuff. What's your next question?
My next question was, what's your favorite, like, Vivi story, like, that you have, that you like to tell people?
Oh, wow. You know, I'm trying to think if there's one that stands out. Every day is like just, I mean, anybody that has kids knows every day is a new adventure. And she's almost 15 months old now, so she's super fun, really, really cute. I mean, yesterday, okay, so 2 nights ago, we took her to get a Christmas tree. And my wife and I haven't had a real Christmas tree in years, but we're like, we're getting a real Christmas tree. We're going to do the whole, family goes to the Christmas tree market and picks out a tree and did that whole thing. And so we picked out a tree and brought it home and proceeded to try to decorate it with a 15-month-old. And so now we've got this beautiful tree, and it's only decorated like about halfway up. The bottom is just bare, because I would put one on, and I'd turn around and go get one, and she would just grab one and just walk away with it. So it's a lot of fun little adventures like that. We were in Hawaii a couple weeks ago, and she's a brave little thing. She's like fearless, and I hope she stays that way. To a degree. She is my little girl. But I was coming out of the ocean, and I rented a snorkel. It's the best $20 I spent in Maui. And I rented a snorkel and some flippers, and I went out, and I just had like an amazing time. And as I'm coming out of the water, I see my wife and daughter on the beach, and it was just like this beautiful moment. And I see them there, and I don't know. I felt like, like Daniel Craig or something coming out of the ocean. It's like James Bond, like. It's like, yeah, just glistening. Rip off the mask and the snorkel, still got the fins on. And Vivi just sees me, and her face lights up, and she just runs toward the water. And my wife doesn't. I mean, she reacts, but she takes off after her, and we meet just as Vivi comes crashing into the first break of surf, and she just face down in the surf, in the sand, and my heart stopped, and I picked her up, and she had sand in her ear and all over her face, and she just kind of giggled. And I just shook her off and just let her go do her thing. Anyway, she's amazing. We're thinking we might have another at some point. Although one's pretty good. We see friends of ours that have 2, and we're like, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. But then you look at her sometimes, and it's just like, man, I don't know. She's very special, and thank you so much for bringing up Vivi.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you again.
You too.
I'll see y'all later. You're making me blush.
Hi, Gil.
Hey, how are you?
What's up? So I wanted to ask about the new song that you sang at your album release party, The Strange is Something Beautiful that Abe wrote.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, if you do a full album, can you please tell us you're going to put it on there? Because that song was really great.
Yeah, thank you. It's a song that, so I don't know, a couple months ago now, I did my first live set at the Hotel Cafe in Hollywood, and it was something I said I was going to do from the Kickstarter, which a lot of you supported. So thank you so very much for making it happen. It wouldn't happen if it wasn't for you. And so I did a show at the Hotel Cafe, and I think I did 8 songs, and pretty much everything off of my EP. And then there's this song that a friend of mine wrote called "Strange is Something Beautiful." And I hope you guys get to hear it. You will get to hear it at some point. So this guy, Abe Dirtner, I went to USC with. I was in the music school with Abe. He and I reconnected over the past few years, and I've known him since I was 18. So, I mean, at least 6 or 7 years now. And why is that funny? So I reconnected with Abe, and he's a composer, and he's one of those guys that plays like every instrument. He's just like got this amazing God-given gift, and he reached out to me one day, and he was like, "Hey, check out this song. I think it'd be good for you." So he sends me this song, and it's called "Strange is Something Beautiful," and I listened to like the first 10 bars, and I knew that it was like something that I wanted to sing. So I performed it at my show, and at some point, hopefully next year, I'll get to perform it for you guys live. And I think you're gonna love it. I really do. I think it's a special song, and I think you'll really you'll connect with it, and hopefully love it as much as I do. As far as recording it, I'm gonna either maybe put it out as a single, or I'm gonna put it on my next album. So.
Thanks.
We'll
I
see.
loved it. I had such a good time with you there.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, so as far as that goes, Jason Manns and I was in the studio with him on Tuesday, recording for his next Covers with Friends album, which, as far as I know, I was the last person he needed to record. I think he finally got Jensen, and then he got me the other day. So I think he's got everything recorded now. They're just going to be, doing all the post-production work, and it's gonna. He played some of the stuff for me off of it. It's gonna be great. So anyway, Jason and I were talking about possibly doing another album. So hopefully that'll happen at some point next year.
Hi.
Thanks. Hey.
My question is, what was your experience working with the cast? Because from what they say, they can be pretty stressful.
Working with the cast, they can be stressful?
Yeah, like with pranks and like.
Oh, stressful, as far as pranking you?
Yeah, just like shooting in general, because they can do stuff to make you mess up.
Yeah, it is stressful. It's so stressful, you guys. Wow, I've never thought about it that way. Yeah, look, I mean, I wasn't there long enough to really fall prey to a lot of that, though I did get a fair amount, considering they got after me in my first episode. Yeah, I was there. The thing about my first episode is, it takes 8 days to shoot one episode, right? And when I did, as time goes by, we shot 4 days, and then there was the Thanksgiving holiday, so I flew back to LA, and then for Thanksgiving, and then flew back up a week or so later and shot another 4 days. So I was there for a considerable amount of time, and they definitely make you feel they definitely make you feel like a part of the whole thing. Hey, what's going on? How old? 21 months. Beautiful. Enjoy. Hi. What was I talking about? Yeah, so they did get after me a little bit. It didn't take long, honestly. I'd say maybe by the second day they were having some fun with me. I've told this story so many times. I want to go back on the show so I can get some new ones. But one of my favorite ones is we were shooting at this motel. It's that motel scene where Henry walks out and he realizes he's in, I think it was 2012, right? God, it's been that long. And anyway, and so then we end up, Henry breaks the window of the Impala and gets in, and Jensen puts the gun in his face, and that whole scenario. They go back in the motel room. He handcuffs me. I break through the cuffs, which is also a funny story because I really tried to break the handcuffs off. I was like so in the moment. Jensen was like, dude, just pretend. I was like, oh, that's right. Idiot. Just kind of got caught up in the moment, looking in your eyes. Anyway, so then Henry charges back out of the motel room, jumps in the car, and the boys are like right behind him, and they get in the Impala and take off out of the parking lot. That sequence, and Jensen just floored it out of the parking lot and did like a full like 180 in the middle of the street. And I had no seatbelt on. Nobody told me that cops had blocked off the road and that it was somewhat safe, you know. I'm pretty sure I screamed. And Jared was in the back seat just giggling like a little girl. And Jensen was like, you need some new shorts? And I did. I needed. So yeah, they had some fun with me. You know, there were times where we would be having like a serious conversation. Like, I remember, either about like the scene or the show or talking about the conventions and that sort of thing. And then they would call action, and I would go to enter the scene, and Jensen would like trip me, you know, like entering the scene. Little fun things like that. Jared loves making faces off camera. Like when the camera's on you and not on him, he loves to try to make you crack. He has a good time, that one. He likes to show you really disturbing images on his computer during the middle of a scene that makes it impossible for you to not lose your, you know. They have a good time, man. Those guys have the greatest job. They really are like the two luckiest actors I know. They've been on this amazing ride. And they have so much fun. They take it seriously, though. Like, they show up and they do their work, but then they make sure they have fun, too. I think Jared probably has a little too much fun. I think sometimes the days are getting long. They're on those, like, 13, 14, 15-hour days, and the crew's like, oh, come on, Jared. Can we please just go home? He's still just, like, running around. Just doing his thing. Anyway, I love it though. I think it's fun. Like they make you like get to a place where you don't take yourself so seriously, you know? Like they want you to do good work but they also want you to have fun, which is really cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Gil.
Hey.
So you sort of touched on it a minute ago about a question I asked you last time in a Q&A panel, if you'd ever talked to Matt Cohen about what Henry would ever say to John on the show as characters. And you said no, but you would ask him. And so I'm wondering, did you ever ask him?
No. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah. Let me try to remember to ask Matt that. I don't know. You know, I don't know what I don't write the show. If I did, I'd be in a lot more episodes. I can promise you that. I'd probably have my own spinoff by now, which would be like tracking really well. It'd be like probably just number 2 as far as like the ratings go, just behind Supernatural. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think there's definitely something there though that would be really fun to explore, and I hope that the writers, you know, feel that and at some point write something for us. I think that could be really cool. You know, because Matt's like me. You know, I don't know how many episodes Matt has done to this point, but like, you know, he played a really important character years ago on the show, and I know that they brought him back a couple seasons ago, I think, which is really cool to have him, you know, come back and have a little appearance. But he's like me, you know. He played this really important. He played a Winchester, you know, and then he got sucked into this whole craziness, which is really hard to escape. And so I relate to Matt a lot. He's been doing these things a little bit longer than me, but we're both Winchesters, and we both kind of got wrapped up in this whole crazy supernatural convention thing, which has just been awesome. I mean, neither of us would be here if we didn't absolutely love it, you know? So I'll get back to you.
Okay, hopefully you will ask him. I'm going to ask him next Q&A. Be ready.
One night, maybe Matt and I will be having a beer, and I'll be like, oh, by the way, Matt, I've been meaning to ask you something. And he's going to be like, shut up, dude. Hey.
Hi. So my question is, do you have a favorite dance move?
Do I have a favorite dance move? Man, I don't even know if, are there such things as, do I have a favorite dance? I would need music. I'll tell you what. I'm not dodging your question, although I am a little bit. You guys coming to karaoke tonight? Okay. If you come to karaoke tonight, you'll probably see my favorite dance move. I don't know that I really have like a single favorite one. There's a lot of different ones that might be on display. Just never know really what's going to come out. But, you know, when I was a kid, it was like trying to do the Roger Rabbit or the Running Man or the Kid and Play. I don't think my body does those moves anymore. Might sprain my ankle. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe, yeah, we'll see. Come tonight. There'll be some music out here tonight. You guys should come to karaoke. If you're not planning on it, you should change your plans and come. It's going to be fun. And this is the last one of 2017, so we got to make it good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey.
Hi.
Nice to see you again. How are you?
Good. So at the Rockwood Festival, you sang a song for your wife, but it wasn't finished yet.
Right.
Is it finished yet? And
I mean, I probably said it wasn't finished because I just, you know, I was like nervous to perform it for you guys. It's pretty close to finished. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. It'll probably be on my next album. So what she's talking about is there's this music festival in Germany, in Offenbach, called the Rockwood Music Festival. And it's something that Jason Manns puts on with a lovely woman named Sabine. And so I've been twice now. I think they've had like 3 or 4 of these things. So I've been twice now. And if you ever want to go to Germany, it's a great reason to go to Germany. It's right outside Frankfurt. Germany is an amazing country. And we put on a music festival. And it's basically set up kind of like a convention. But it's just all music. And it's pretty much a lot of these guys, you know, like Loudon Swain was there. Brianna Bugmaster was there. And a lot of us hopefully will be going back next year. I think they're going to start announcing people soon. But anyway, so they had this thing called like a jam session during the day, one of the days. It's all music, you know, and I wrote this song for my wife, and I was so nervous because I wanted to sing it, and I play piano like a little bit, but I'm not that confident with my piano skills, especially in front of, 300 people live. But I just made myself sit down at the keyboard and play this song that I wrote for my wife. And I remember I was like shaking like this to the point that the keyboard started shaking. Like I was that nervous, I was like, gosh, why do I get so nervous about that? So I'm glad that I did it. So now that I got one out of the way, I'm sure I'll perform it at some point. But it'll be on my next album for sure. Cool. It's called The One.
Cute.
Cute. Hey.
Hi, Gil. We all know that you are a brilliant musician. I love
Thank
your
you.
EP. It's so great.
So sweet.
I was
Thank
just
you.
wondering, when you started out, did you plan to be a musician and then an actor? How did it all come about to do both?
No, this music thing is something that's just kind of, I've always sung my whole life. As a kid, I sang, I was in choir and all that kind of stuff growing up, and I was a voice major in college. That's what I majored in. I was a music major with an emphasis in voice, and I was a musical theater minor, actually. That was kind of where I thought things were going, and then I just really fell in love with acting and wanted to pursue that as like my number one thing. And so I was in LA and Hollywood pursuing that, and I think I got frustrated with the music. I kind of put it on the back burner, and I just wasn't singing as much. you know, I would take an occasional voice lesson or whatever, but I wasn't performing anywhere. I wasn't writing anything. And then I started doing these conventions, and that kind of reignited that thing. I still feel like, I know Robbie feels this way about himself. He's such a talented musician, but I know he feels like he's an actor first and then a musician. And I still feel like that's kind of how I see myself, though that could change, you know? This music thing for me right now is just, I don't want to put too much pressure on it, you know? I just want to like have fun with it and continue to try to write songs and perform and sing for you guys and do shows and put out albums. And it's more of like just kind of a fun like passion project, you know? I still want to like focus on acting as like my main thing and have this music thing. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I had no idea that it would have gone where it has, you know, thus far, and truly that's because of you guys and these conventions. I mean, it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't booked Henry Winchester on Supernatural. Like, really. I hope that it would have happened at some point. I hope at some point I would have gotten, like, the courage to like, bear down and do it. But this whole thing, like, just opened up that door in such an amazing way that I would be an idiot to not try to, like really go for it, you know?
Well, we're very lucky that we found you first,
Oh,
so.
thank you. I appreciate that. And I won't, you know, no matter what happens with it, like I would never, you know, forget how it started. It started when I walked out in Washington, D.C. in 2014 and sang John Legend's All of Me back to like a karaoke track. You know, that was like the start of the Saturday night show for me. And then Loud and Swain, you know, I give so much credit to those guys. They're such fantastic musicians. I mean, they're like real musicians, and they've been so great and so generous with their time and backing me up during the Saturday night shows. And you know, I'll send them song ideas, and now I'm sending them my song. You know, like we've been performing my song for several shows now, which is a really cool thing to have your own song. You know, to have like your own music. Have somebody say, "What are you singing tonight?" I'm singing my song. You know, it's cool. It's like I've never had that. And tomorrow night, I'm going to sing another original. I didn't write it. Jason Manns co-wrote it. It's called 17. It's on my EP. So if you come to the show tomorrow night, you're going to hear another original that frankly, a lot of people like better than my song, including my wife. Played her the EP, and I was like, "What do you think? What's your favorite song?" She's like, 17. I was like, "Really? That's weird. Really? Better? Okay, it's fine." She's like, "Oh, it's so good." I was like, "That's great. I'll let Jason know."
Hi, Gail.
Hey.
Thank you and your wife for sharing so much of Vivi. It's so cool to see your family because, you know, we love you and your family.
Oh, that's sweet.
So what was it like having Jason produce your album, and did you learn anything on the technical side that you didn't know before? Or, like, what was it? Your experience?
Definitely. And I'm still learning. You know, because I haven't done much recording in the studio before. One of the coolest parts for me, which is like, it's like he's speaking another language, but the sound guy that's mixing and doing everything with the soundboard, I watch him and I'm just like, what are you doing? What's going on? His name's Zach, and he's so talented. So I love watching that aspect of it kind of come during the process. But as far as Jason, I didn't really know what to expect. It made me feel like good to know that I respect him as a musician. You know, I like his music. I love his voice. He's a great songwriter. And it was nice having like, a friend in my corner going into that process. But I didn't really know what to expect for him. I just knew that I had a friend there that was going to kind of guide me every step of the way. He'd done several albums himself. And so the first thing I said to him, I was like, I need you to help me like find like my sound, like what it is that represents me and what I want to put out there. It's like, you know, my sound. Not that I want to like put myself in one like one box. But I've sung so many different styles over the years, you know, everything from opera to country, that I didn't know, like, what was it that I wanted to do. So first of all, he helped me kind of find that. And then once we got in the studio, you know, sometimes it's just different when you're singing live. It's very different than when you're singing in the studio. When you're singing in the studio, it's like you're singing under a microscope, you know, and every every little thing can be detected. So I mean, there were times I would think that I did a really great take, and then I would walk out of the booth and like sit down and listen to it, and didn't like what I heard at all. And so then that's the cool thing about being in the studio. You can really kind of pick at it, you know, and try different things. And so he taught me how to do a lot of that. And yeah, and just like little technical things. I mean, I've had a lot of voice lessons over the years, but Jason helped me like technically do different things with my voice that work better when you're recording. So yeah, he was very crucial in that. And most of the notes he gave me, I took, you know. There were a couple times that I would like bear down and I wouldn't agree with him. And there were sometimes I didn't agree with him, but I would do what he said, and then in the end he was right. So, you know, you kind of gotta, it was humbling at times. But that's what it's about to like work with somebody, you know? That's what it's about to like collaborate with someone. Like when you're working on a TV show, sometimes, you know, I've been working on things where a director will give you a note and you're like, that's so wrong. He has no idea what he's talking about, but I'll just do it, okay? And then you just take the note, and a lot of times they're right, you know? I don't always know the answer. So it's fun. It was fun. I got in the studio with him again Tuesday night, and we recorded something that was a lot of fun, and I got to do a bunch of like harmonies. Like I got to harmonize with myself in the studio, which is really cool. Did like a 4-part harmony, so it's all my voice on 4 different parts. It was kind of fun. And then I was like, Jason, if you want to just jump in there, I mean, it is a Covers with Friends album, so you're welcome to put your voice in there too. So I'm sure that he did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is kind of a question for Henry, but between Sam and Dean, who's the favorite grandchild?
I mean, Sam. Sam, for sure. From what I remember about that dynamic, in that moment in time, you know, meeting the boys, I definitely Henry was more, I don't know, he felt more connected to Sam, the sensitivity, I guess, as opposed to, you know, the way Dean was acting toward Henry was yeah, very much opposite of that. There's actually, I don't even remember what the dialogue was, but there was this really great moment that didn't make the final cut. It ended up on the cutting room floor, but it was when Sam and Dean and Henry are sitting in the motel room together. It was that scene where Henry starts by whistling as time goes by, and then they sit down at the table together. At the end of that scene, there was this really nice exchange of dialogue between Henry and Sam. Like Dean leaves the room, and Sam and Henry have this moment. And I remember when we were shooting it, being like, "Wow, like this is just like it was the heart of it, you know." And it just, for some reason, they cut it. It was a time thing. They just, not everything can make the episode because of time. A lot of stuff has to be cut, but yeah, it was something special. And yeah, I mean, frankly, I like Jared better than Jensen. So, I'm just kidding. That's actually not true at all. I definitely prefer Jensen. Hey, thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
That's all right. I am too. It's okay.
If you can come back to Supernatural's Henry Winchester for like one more episode, like what would you have him do and why?
If I could come back on the show, kind of what I touched on before, I think there's definitely something there. Henry and John need to, you know, reconnect in some way, shape, or form. There's a lot that's like been unsaid that could be said. I'm really curious about Henry's home life. I'd love to meet Millie, you know, his wife, and I'm really curious about that home life. I think that would be interesting. And then, like, selfishly, I just think it would be cool to get to work with Jared and Jensen a lot more, and to ride around in the Impala. Like, honestly, like, I'm a car guy. I love cars. My first car was a 1962 Chevy Impala. It was black with red interior and a red racing stripe, and it was just the coolest car that my dad got me, and we fixed it up together. And so yeah, there's just, I don't know, there were some of my favorite moments of working on the show were like just being with the guys in the Impala, you know, just because in between takes you're just kind of shooting the shit, you know, and just talking about whatever. And it was a really, really fun time. So I just have this idea of you know, Dean driving, obviously, Sam sitting shotgun and Henry in the back. Just like going on some sort of adventure together. I don't care what it is, but some sort of road trip, some sort of adventure. Maybe heading to Texas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, how's it going? Cool, get back to you. She's like, no, over there. Hi.
Hi. I'm really nervous.
That's okay.
If Henry could come back and make an appearance in season 13, how would you want him to come back?
How would I want him to come back? I would want him to just rip himself from the ground. Just, you know, that classic like hand breaking through earth and just pulling myself out of the dirt and the worms and like just coming back to life and brushing myself off and then just going to find those grandsons. What's that? I've already done that? I did that on the show? Okay, well, I don't watch the show. She's like, it's been done. Come up with something else. Good luck coming up with something else. I don't know how the writers do it, honestly. Maybe that's why I haven't come back, because they're sitting in there like, oh, shit, what do we do next? They're like, oh, I got it. He comes out, nope, been done. Dean did it. Oh, goodness. Or we could just not do that, and we could just go back to, 1958, and because that would be fun, too. That was one of the best parts about playing this part was getting to kind of do that, like, period thing a little bit, like the clothes and the cars and the music and all that. That was really, really fun. Some of those, that first time, I think it's the first time you see Henry getting out of that car and walking, maybe not the first time, but the first time he goes to meet with Josie, and he walks to where the men of letters, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't their bunker at the time, I don't think, but when he goes to meet Josie at the men of letters headquarters, thank you. There's just something really fun about shooting that scene, getting out of that car, and you're in Vancouver, which is such a great place to shoot anything. It just feels special. Remember, they had steam coming out of the street, out of a manhole in the street, and wearing that trench coat and that hat. It was like really, really cool. Knocking on that door. Oh man, it was such a special experience. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, I can come back at some point.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Oh, I love you. That's so sweet.
Okay, so
Hey.
hi. Sorry.
It's all right.
If you could play any character from like any franchise or fandom, like who would it be? Like, yeah.
Oh, any character from any franchise or fandom. Probably, I don't know, anything that Chris Pine gets to do. Pretty much.
Steve Trevor.
Yeah. Or like, playing like Captain America would be cool. Yeah, let's go with Captain America, even though that's Chris Evans. I also a big fan of Chris Evans as well.
Any of the Chris's.
What's that?
Any roles the Chris's
Any of those
play.
Chris's, I was actually thinking about changing my name to Chris.
You could do Thor, too. Be Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Pratt. Evans.
You could be Superman, Chris
Pine.
Reeve.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play a superhero, so, that would be cool. Captain America would be a lot of fun.
Taking us back.
Dustin Hoff Classic. Hey, take it way back, Dustin Hoff Classic. Hey, Gil.
Thank you.
You have
Richard.
you have an album out there.
I do.
It's a fantastic, and it charted. It was actually on the charts, man.
It charted, not sharded. It charted.
I don't know why you're making it dirty. I just said it charted.
Thought you said sharded. Sorry.
Listen, I got
making sure you guys knew you said charted.
I got news for you. Your record can't chart. But if it could...
What a nice compliment.
I'm telling you.
Great review.
It charted up the charts. Gil's record. Gil's album is fantastic. If you don't have it, please pick it up. It's great. Are you selling any here at the show?
Yeah, I'll be somewhere in the building on Sunday with some CDs to sell.
It's fantastic.
And as Swain does, you buy a CD, you get the autograph for free. So I think on Sunday, I'll tweet it out. We'll make an announcement. I'll let you guys know when I'll be out there. But if you need a hard copy of it, even if you have the download, you want a hard copy signed, come see me.
And Gil will be singing with this band on this stage right there tomorrow night. It's awesome. He has a fantastic voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Gil McKinney.
Thank you, guys.
I will
Love you.
be your father figure. Put your tiny hand
Tiny
in
little
mine.
bitty hand.
I will be your preacher, teacher. Anything you have.
Got small hands.
I will be your father figure. I have had enough of crime. I will be the one who loves you till the end of time.
In a world filled with complicated questions, every now and then it's nice to have something simple presented to you. Something where the question has a simple answer. It's either yes or it's no. You know what I'm talking about, Bobo. You get it. You get it. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no.
Not much of a thriller.
It's just a simple filler.
It's a real buzz filler type of yes, no game.
And now hosting it, Stephanie Design. Stephanie Design.
Who's ready to win some gift certificates?
I am.
All right. I don't know why, but that intro always makes me nervous.
What?
It
Nervous?
does. It does.
It's high energy. It's on point.
It is on point.
It's fun. It has
It's
your
on
name
point.
in it.
And it makes me nervous.
All right, good luck, everybody. We'll be back in a few.
All right, we need 90 people. We need 30 people. We're going to play 3 rounds of this yes-no game. If you would like to participate, raise your hand and make some noise. Once you get your yes card,